Commissioner Caitie.
Yeah, my sense is that we ought to vote this down, because I think that we can bring it back. We can bring the idea back if we need to, but I think we have some other information we need to get first, which is goes more to the heart and the substance of this. So that would be my preference.
Let me ask a question. I mean, if we vote in favor of the motion, can this be brought back up at some other point?
Well, we would need to reintroduce the ordinance, but we can do that.
You can do that, sure. My inclination is to agree with the, I know I can count. I'm in the middle on this one, I can count. My inclination is to go ahead and support the motion at this. I'm in the middle on this one, I can count. My inclination is to go ahead and support the motion at this point in time, because I've heard some of the stories with regards to the tow truck companies too, and I tend to agree that all of them are not bad apples, anything like that. But I think that as an industry, they need to begin to take a look at what they're doing, and you know, sometimes there's this thing called self-regulation or self-imposed regulation, and maybe the individuals who are part of this industry need to take a look at how they're operating. And if there are 4 or 5 bad apples out there, maybe the others in the industry may be the appropriate group to pull them in line. And so to that extent, that's the reason why I want to support this motion, with the understanding that if we get back, we get in return some sort of indication from the industry itself that they're ready to clean this thing up, then you know, I'd be willing to take a look at the increase, or some sort of increase, because I know they're being hit hard too. So that's where I am on it. We got anything else on it, Commissioner?
Yeah, I was just going to say, one, I agree that we should probably take action on this tonight, but I want to be clear that despite the discussion tonight and the testimony and even my own anecdotal experiences, my purpose and real reason for voting this down is nowhere in this material is it substantiated as to why. It's not enough to say fuel prices have gone up, therefore let me do an increase, followed by an automatic $10 escalator a year from now, based on no evidence that's provided. I mean, I don't know what the break-even point is for these companies. None of that's in here, and we're expected to, based on the reason that fuel prices have increased, let's increase these fees. So I'm willing to work with you, Mr. Attorney, and I encourage the involvement of the student governments and really any concerned group or vendor who's interested in helping to birdwatch this thing, to make sure we're also able to get at some of these underlying issues that are very present in this industry. And no, everybody's not bad, and I recognize the need for penalty, but we've got to get at some of this. It's not fair, and it's quite frankly pretty rude and discriminatory.
I think the question has been called.
Okay. Mr. Mayor, because it is an ordinance, what I need you to do is move the ordinance and then vote against it.
Move the ordinance.
Move the ordinance. Second. It's been properly moved and second. All in favor of the ordinance, not Commissioner Gillum's motion is to move the ordinance. All in favor of moving the ordinance as is, signify by saying aye.
Aye. No. Wait, no. Tell me what we're doing. I move it and then vote against it.
Right. Let me make sure everybody, the ordinance is to give the rate increase.
We want to vote it down.
We have to move it in a positive manner and then defeat it. So it's
all in favor of the motion to move the ordinance as is, signify by saying aye. All those opposed, say nay. Nay. It fails unanimously?
Yes.
I do expect it to come back, though.
Well,
yeah, I think the direction is you want us to go ahead and look at those practices, look at the problems we're having, look at some solutions.
Yeah.
I think really focusing on the roam towing, because that's where we know that's where the problems are.
I think the other part is that we want to see is some sort of an economic analysis.
Right. Because we do not really have cost data.
Right. And I think we all know the price of gas has gone up, but the point is perhaps the profit margins were very high beforehand, so therefore.
Yeah. Well, I'm serious about what I said. I like to see whether or not the industry is willing to do some sort of self-regulation themselves. And rather than we doing this, the government and that kind of thing, hey, come up with some sort of an idea, some sort of scheme where you can, yourself, industry, regulate the people in your, what you're doing.
How do you do that, Ray?
I don't know.
Well, you have, no, let me...
We do it, we supposedly do it in many other areas. So, let them...
We have quite a bit of leverage. We do not have to permit the roam towing that is essentially policed by the towing companies as opposed to the property owners. In other words, as it is now, a property owner does not make a call and say, I need vehicle X, it's in my parking lot illegally towed. If the signage is up and all that, the towing company makes a decision to tow that vehicle. We can change the regulation that says, no, the owner of that property or his managing agent or whatever has to pick up the phone and make a specific call about a specific vehicle. Now, there's some problems with that with a lot of properties, and so I'm not suggesting that, but that's the ultimate hammer. If the practices are so prevalent and so problematic with wrong towing, is to essentially take away that privilege.
Well, I suspect that there are other communities, especially university communities, that probably have a similar problem. We may want to take and see what they're doing too. So with that, we can move on to, thank you very much for your input. Thank you. Now y'all can go back to your class, right? Next, we go back to the beginning of the public hearing.
Right, item 26.
Item 26.